Morning, police have arrested 2 people in connection to a deadly shooting in the South Bay. That shooting happened this Sunday around 5 p.m. in the parking lot on Winchester and Hamilton. This is not far from downtown Campbell. Police say a 17-year-old was shot at least once after an altercation between 2 suspects. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. After the investigation, police arrested Jose and John Flores on Tuesday in connection with that shooting. Police say that they used license plate readers to identify the suspect's vehicle. The motive surrounding the events are still under investigation.
Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get straight to this intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope house. Man, I'm kicking it, right? I'm kicking it. Are you guys ready to receive it? It's like the Super Bowl, man. Let's see if you guys can run it back, right? I'm very humbled. Thank you for all your support. So let's talk about this incident that happened in San Jose, California. Because when this incident happened about 2 weeks ago, I was abreast of the situation by a good friend that I have out there in San Jose. He shed light on it. He brought it to my attention, and I kind of didn't want to touch the story because at the end of the day, whether it's 15, 16, or 17 years old, that is a child, okay, that was murdered behind an altercation, whether it be gang violence or just situational violence or a dispute. It's still a child that lost his life due to bullshit, right? Anytime a child loses his life behind any type of violence, it's bullshit. So I kind of didn't want to touch it because at the same time, it was an ongoing investigation and nobody had been arrested for it. Well, subsequently, since the homie told me that story, guess what? 2 brothers have been arrested, Jose and John Flores from San Jose, due to shooting this minor. Now, at the end of the day, when you're a gang member, and I was a gang member at a very young age, right? It's kind of like a blurred line there. If you're out there representing a barrio, a neighborhood, a gang, you're out there talking your shit, you're out there in the mix, you understand there's a lot that goes with that. You got to understand that there's individuals that have been in the game longer than you have that might feel some type of way about what you're saying and how you're rocking and what you're representing. You know, in the city of San Jose, California, it's always been a very detrimental city. Detrimental to your health if you're out there gangbanging. Now, San Jose is a beautiful city. I love it, right? It's one of those cities that if you're not in the mix and you're not out there participating in a gang and criminality and going out there doing bad shit, well, there's a lot to do. There's a lot for you. And I'm sure San Jose is off the hook today with the Super Bowl just being down the street in Santa Clara, right? So San Jose is popping right now, which is crazy because at the same time where you could have a lot of fun and meet a lot of good people, make good relationships, there's also those back alley streets, man, where gangs are pretty prevalent. And the city of San Jose is indoctrinated with the historia of the Norteño movement as well as Southsiders that could fuck your night up, right? And this situation that happened right here, man, this youngster and his family was having a birthday party or just a local little gathering, having a party at a pizza joint, right? Now, we all know about going to pizza places like Chuck E. Cheese. We grew up on that, going to Chuck E. Cheese, going to whatever pizza place you went to in Merced, man. The place to go is Mountain Mike's Pizza. That's the place where all the homies pull up pretty thick, man, and watch the 49er and the Raider games. So pizza parties are something that's a part of the fabric of America. It's part of our life, you know, especially if it's a kid's child's birthday party. It's probably the cheapest route to go rather than having everyone fuck your house up, right? Or having a grill in the backyard. Take it to a pizza place, get some pizzas for the low, right? And have a good time. Well, this individual, who I'll tell you right now, has been allegedly put out there as being part of the Southsider, the Upstater movement, was in an area that is pretty frequented by Southsiders, but there are Norteños present. Of course, this is San Jose, California. This is the Campbell area. That Campbell area is predominantly, well, you'll see a lot of Southsiders in that particular area, right? There's an apartment complex out there where Southsiders have known neighborhoods. And when I talk about Southsiders up north, we're talking about the upstater movement, right? That is a label that they've given themselves because they don't want to say they're from up north. They say they're from upstate. But we all know, man, it's Southsiders, traditionally from the Southern California movement, that have gravitated and migrated up north. Now, don't get it twisted. This just didn't happen overnight. They've been in cities like San Jose for decades. Okay, they've been in cities like San Jose since before they had the label upstaters. They were just Sureños or Southsiders. How do I know? Because I've been around them. I've warred with them. I understand why they do what they do. But anyways, this youngster, the 17-year-old kid, was in the front of this pizza parlor while his family was inside when he got into an altercation, allegedly with the two individuals, John and Jose Flores. Now, this altercation led to, of course, something more, and it led to a shooting. One shot was fired, and this kid was struck, and he succumbed to that injury. He died. Now, you ask yourself, and I've been asked this question, what do you think's going to happen to these two individuals because that guy was 17 years old? I'm going to be totally fucking honest with you. It kind of blurs the line. You know, if it was just a random 17-year-old kid and these guys went up in a party and shot it up and hit this kid, they would be in bad standings. If they are active gang members, active Norteños, of course, they would be questioned on what is the reasoning why they did this. And did they understand that discharging a firearm in the presence of children, man, is unwanted attention and negative, right? You should not do that. And so, of course, they would be held accountable. No DPs, no writing essays, no burpees. More than likely, they would be removed from the household because they would no longer be eligible to participate in the household games. But being that this kid was representing the flag of the Sur, being that this kid was out there representing a neighborhood in a barrio, and quite frankly could have been the one that agitated and antagonized the situation from the beginning. I'm not saying that he did or he didn't, and I'm not saying it's right to ever shoot a 17-year-old, but depending upon what he was out there repping and what he was doing, the facts are these guys are probably going to get incarcerated. Well, they're incarcerated. They're probably going to go in jail, and they're probably going to get a pass. No one's probably going to trip because the reasoning behind it is he was the opposition. Age wasn't a factor. It wasn't like these guys knew he was 17 years old. It wasn't like they targeted him because he was a kid and tried to bully him because he was a kid. It was an altercation that got out of hand, and these two brothers, man, decided to pull the pistol, allegedly. Now, remember, this is an ongoing investigation, so you got to be very tentative in what you do when you talk about situations like this. But this is only one of many things that is happening in San Jose, California right now. There's been several ongoing shootings, and a lot of violence is stemming behind things that are posted on social media. See, San Jose seems to be the one city that has a lot, and I say a lot of different social media sites that post what's going on all the time. Now, there are some good ones that I tap into, like San Jose activities that keep it neutral, that keep it respectful, that are out there trying to represent San Jose and shed a good light on the city. Those are the channels that I pay attention to out there if I want information, because the person that is behind the scenes running that channel definitely is a very professional in his demeanor and the way he does it, or she, depending upon who it is, right? I don't know. But that is a very informational channel where they don't blur the lines in telling and snitching on people. And they really only post things that are beneficial to help others be aware of what's going on in their city. Then there are other channels like West Coast Gang Wars and ESSJ Times and Gang Wars, whatever the fuck it is, San Jose, right? And a lot of these channels, like, I will not disrespect ESSJ Times and certain, like, you know, because I watch a lot of their shit. But there are channels like West Coast Gang Wars that are going to show you and basically throw fuel on the fire to what's going on in the city of San Jose. They're going to show you guys dead bodies, people on the ground. They're going to show you guys, and kind of depending upon who they support, whether it's north or south, they're going to blur that line and push that hard line on the other group. They're going to make northerners look bad or southerners look bad, or say a little too much in the beginning of an investigation that they shouldn't be speaking on because they're only helping authorities do their job. Now, understand, when children die, man, all bets are off. Okay, if you have information that could help law enforcement bring justice for this murder into the family, so be it. It's a child that was involved. If it's a child targeted, right? But in a situation like this, like I said, the lines are blurred because he was a 17-year-old gang member out there in front of a pizza parlor, of course, in San Jose, That's to be expected. You know, there was just another shooting incident that happened a couple weeks ago at the San Jose Blue Jeans store, where a Southerner was in the store, tried to dip in and out, and of course was accosted by a Norteño allegedly and shot. So there's going to be situations like this that happens all the time, especially in the city of San Jose, where there are a lot of upstaters, Southsiders in the city of San Jose. Now, San Jose's always been ran and always been controlled by the Norteños. They are the deeper entity there, the deeper group. I think they'll continue to be for many, many more decades. That's just San Jose, California. There's other groups like SOS, and you have Crips, and you have different gangs that are there that, of course, have their piece of the pie, and their representation is real. And then you have the upstater movement. You have a lot of Southsiders from barrios like VST, Barrio Surtown, and then you have Sus Santos Pride and Old School Vickystown, and just these different neighborhoods that are out there, and they're thick. They're separated. In some cases, man, I remember Barrio Horseshoe, last time I went, is separated merely by it looked like an overpass, and then you get into Sus Santos Pride, right? It's definitely a situation where you could recognize and understand that when enemies are living in this close of a proximity, there's going to continue to be murders like this. There's going to continue to be static. There's going to continue to be drama. So for those that are asking the question, will John and Jose Flores, being alleged active Norteños, be reprimanded for the killing of a 17-year-old child, right? The question you should ask yourself is, if you were put into that situation unknowingly, and you were a gang member, and you were active, and you had something on you, man, and that guy posed a threat, what would you do? Okay? I can't call it one way or the other. I don't know how or what is going on nowadays in the gang lifestyle behind them walls. One thing I do know is back in my days, in my time, there would have been a lot of questions asked. There would have been, you better have some good excuses as to why. And in some cases, depending upon who had that yard, who was in position to make that last call, who was the authority figure, who was the contact on the streets, the channel. It just depended on how they felt that day. Because ultimately, you're not going to question it. If they said, hey, the Vatos are cool, it's no, hey, they didn't know. You don't question it no more. You don't say. Now, that doesn't mean every other prison they go to, their paperwork is not going to be received well. Because you can be good in the county and get the pass because all the homies know you and you're a solid homeboy and all that. And they understand, man, that it was a situation where old boy might have spit at you or got at you crazy or thrown up gang signs and you just let off, doing exactly what you've been laced to do and educated to do when it comes to the gang situation. And unfortunately, he happened to be underage. You might get a pass on that one. But then you go from there to a reception prison, and the homies that are in position right there that are not from your city, that don't know you, that don't have nothing to do with you, might feel some type of way. Or you might be able to wiggle through that situation based upon that you were good and maybe came with a wheel-off from the county jail saying, hey, homie, this is a good, solid homeboy. This is a situation that was out of his fucking hand, right? But then you get to a main line, and again, it's a clearing process that you have to go through. So somewhere along the line, along this ladder of gangbanging behind the walls, you might fucking slip and fall. Okay, someone might say, I don't care what they say in San Jose. I don't care what they said in the county, what they said in reception. This Vato killed a child and he's no good. And that's it. You know, to me, I think the gangbanging aspect of everything nowadays is crazy. When you really think about it in hindsight, and I participated at a high level, so I understand that everything I ever fought for and done was bullshit on my part. I'm not saying their cause. I'm not saying what they represent is bullshit. I would never disrespect the Norteños like that. But as everything that I did in participation of the gang was straight up caca. It was bullshit because I have nothing to show for it but grief and victimizing people. And a lot of apologies that are unaccepted that I have to put out there, right? It just was, I gained nothing from it. Okay, there was nothing that I could say, no clout, no love, no fucking, nothing came good of it. You know, in fact, I'm looked at by people that really respect me and they still question, why would you do something so stupid? And all I can say is because I was stupid at the time. I can't put that off on anyone. I have to be very transparent and real and take, of course, responsibility for every action that I've ever done. I was a bad person. That's it. Am I a bad person now? I'd like to think not. But every once in a while, I get Michael Jackson bad. Okay, but not with the weird shit. That just came out that way. Let me Mike Jack that and moonwalk back. This situation with these two brothers, man, that killed this kid, And like I said, could go anywhere. Let's not jump in haste and say that they are the actual ones that did it, because like I said, it's an ongoing investigation. But I wanted to shed light on something else. They were arrested Tuesday based upon information received from other people and cameras that seen their license plate. I've noticed in several videos that I've done, in several stories that I've heard in San Jose, California, they are really utilizing those license plate readers, and that's how they're snatching people up. If you're dumb enough to cruise around in your own whip and go out there and commit a crime, you are done. You are done in the city of San Jose. They have these readers that they're utilizing all the time, and they're snatching people up left and right behind those license plate readers. So if you're out there in the mix or doing something you shouldn't be doing, man, be conscious and be very aware. You're on camera at all times. That's just how it goes. Now, as far as the situation here, was it a north and south incident? That is what's being alleged. It is being alleged that this youngster was representing Sur, was representing upstate Sureños, and that these two individuals are alleged active norteños. Does that play a big part into it? Could or could not be. Just because you have guys from up north and guys from down south that get into conflict, sometimes, man, things happen. Altercations happen. It could be disrespect. It could be mean mugging. It could be dudes that were hunting, looking for specific individuals. It could be a number of things. It doesn't necessarily always have to be because they're in opposition of your gang. Now, of course, in the city of San Jose, there is a lot of that. And I said a lot of the light that is being shed and a lot of the pumping up comes from a lot of these youngsters on these social media sites that are disrespecting each other's neighborhoods. The thing to do in San Jose right now, and not only San Jose, but a lot of other cities in Northern and Southern California, is to go to the opposition's hood, go to the opposition's barrio, to their parks, to the places of employment, and to post up there and to put videos out and to be disrespectful and to spray paint. And these are things that used to happen in the 90s on the late night very quietly, right? Now it's being exposed and put out there. It's called antagonizing. They're antagonizing the opposition to pull up and do something. Look, I'm in your neighborhood. I'm representing where I'm from. What you going to do about it? You ain't going to do shit. And a lot of these videos are being sent to these pages, right? And they're posting it, antagonizing and throwing gasoline on the fire, man, and making something bigger than it is. And a lot of these guys that feel some type of way about their neighborhood, that love it, are going to other neighborhoods. And it's only a matter of time before dudes are lying in wait and catch them slipping. So this situation right here, it was inevitable in the city of San Jose that, another youngster, man, is dead. His family has to go through it. They have to bury him. They have to grieve. My condolences to the family, and my condolences to the family of the shooters too, the Lled shooters, because now they've lost fathers, sons, brothers, cousins, neighbors that no longer will be able to raise their children, take care of their families, be in their family's life, attend a pizza party with their family, which I'm sure they have, all because of gang violence, because this youngster was maybe wearing a blue shirt or a red shirt or whatever, green shirt, whatever he was wearing, and they didn't like it. It's just an unfortunate situation, but it happens all the time. So I'm going to hit you guys with this clip one more time so you guys can hear on the way out, and then we'll get to the outro. Bang, bang. Listen close.
This morning, police have arrested 2 people in connection to a deadly shooting in the South Bay. That shooting happened this Sunday around 5 p.m. in the parking lot on Winchester and Hamilton. This is not far from downtown Campbell. Police say a 17-year-old was shot at least once after an altercation between 2 suspects. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. After the investigation, police arrested Jose and John Flores on Tuesday in connection with that shooting. Police say that they used license plate readers to identify the suspect's vehicle. The motives surrounding the events are still under investigation.
With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. We have to do better as a society, as a community, as a people. We don't just kill each other over colors or he said, she said. We're not supposed to kill each other, period. We're supposed to show each other respect and love. But I understand gangbanging, that's not written in the rules, right? It just is what it is. Unfortunately, my respects and condolences go out to everybody involved, families. And this is just another sad incident. This video is sponsored by Barrio Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're in the area, man, make sure you pull up to Lali out there in Turlock, California at the Barrio and show them some love, man, and get you something cold to drink. I heard it's icy out there. As well as Sticks and Stones Yard Service out there in Arizona. If you're ever in the AZ area or you got a nice pad out there and you want to get your shit hooked up, Why not put it in the hands of a professional, man? Sticks and Stones Yard Service. He got you covered like a state blanket. Itchy, pero warm. This is the gun. Bang, bang.